It started with a message I didn't expect to see after 6 years. "Can you pretend to be my boyfriend for a day?" That was all it said. No hello, no explanation. The name above it, Emily, was enough to make my heart stop for a second. We hadn't spoken since college, when she chose someone else. I had buried those feelings long ago, or at least I thought I had. Now, here she was, asking me to play a role I'd once wished was real. I asked why. She replied after a pause that she needed to make a point. Her husband, Ryan, was attending a corporate gala that night. There were rumors he was getting too close to a coworker. She wanted him to remember who he had at home. I could have said no. I should have. But curiosity and old affection blurred my judgment. I told her I'd help. When I arrived at the hotel lobby, she looked exactly as I remembered, beautiful, confident, but with a hint of sadness that didn't belong on her face. She smiled when she saw me, that same half-smile that used to undo me in seconds. I felt something twist inside. She thanked me quietly, said she didn't know who else to ask. I nodded, pretending I was doing this as a favor, not because part of me still cared. As we walked toward the ballroom, I couldn't help but think how strange it was pretending to be with someone who had once been almost mine. I wasn't sure if I was helping her fix a marriage or helping her destroy it. Maybe both. Still, when she slipped her arm around mine, I didn't pull away. I just thought, for one day, I can pretend to. She met me outside the venue, wearing a dark red dress that made everything around her seem dull. The way she looked at me, half nervous, half relieved, told me she wasn't sure this was a good idea anymore. But it was too late to turn back. We walked in together, her hand lightly holding mine. It was supposed to be an act, but the warmth of her touch didn't feel like acting. Inside, people greeted her with polite smiles, their eyes flicking between us. She introduced me as her boyfriend, her voice steady but her fingers trembling slightly. I played along, smiling, nodding, doing my part. Every time I glanced at her, she met my eyes for a second longer than necessary. We looked like a couple who belonged together, maybe because once we almost had. Ryan was there, tall, polished, with the same smug confidence I remembered from years ago. He noticed us immediately. His expression shifted just enough to betray that he cared. Emily squeezed my hand then, a silent thank you. I could see a mix of pain and satisfaction behind her calm facade. The plan was working, but something about it felt wrong. As the night went on, our fake affection started to feel frighteningly natural. We laughed at nothing, shared small touches that lingered too long. At one point, she leaned close and whispered, "You're too good at this." I told her quietly, maybe because I'm not pretending. Her eyes softened, and for a heartbeat, the noise around us disappeared. The guilt crept in fast. I wasn't just pretending to be her boyfriend, I was remembering how much I once wanted to be. When the evening ended, I couldn't tell what was real anymore, only that pretending had never felt this painfully honest. After the event ended, Emily asked me to wait by the exit while she spoke to Ryan. I stood there, pretending not to listen, but every word reached me. Ryan's voice was sharp, almost mocking. He accused her of trying to humiliate him in front of his colleagues. She didn't deny it, she simply asked him if he was sleeping with his coworker. There was a long pause before he said, "What if I am?" "You've been gone for months, Emily. Always distant, always cold." I needed something real. His tone wasn't defensive, just tired. Her voice broke when she asked, "And lying to me was your version of real?" He said nothing. I heard footsteps, a door slamming. Then silence. She came out moments later, mascara smudged, eyes red but dry. She looked at me like someone who'd lost a war she never wanted to fight. "It's over," she said quietly. I didn't know whether she meant her marriage or her illusion of it. We sat in my car for a while without speaking. Finally, she whispered, "I thought pretending would make him see me again. Instead, I just realized how invisible I've become." I told her she deserved more, but it sounded weak, hollow even. She nodded, leaning her head on my shoulder, and for a moment, I wished I could fix everything just by holding her. But I knew better. What happened tonight wasn't romantic, it was broken people grasping at something that felt whole. As I drove her home, the weight of it settled in. She had lost her husband, and I had lost the illusion that love could survive through lies. When she whispered, "Thank you," before leaving, it sounded less like gratitude and more like goodbye. Weeks passed before I heard from her again. The night of the gala felt like a distant memory I didn't know what to do with. She texted once to say she'd moved out and was staying with her sister. She didn't mention Ryan, and I didn't ask. Some silences don't need filling. We kept our messages brief, polite, safe. The kind that pretend nothing ever happened. Then, one day, she stopped replying altogether. I stared at the last message I'd sent, "Take care of yourself," and realized there wasn't much left to say. Life went on, but something lingered. I'd been part of someone's heartbreak, even if I didn't cause it. Helping her opened old wounds I thought had healed. I caught myself wondering if she ever thought of me, but I knew that wasn't the point. What happened between us wasn't love, it was two people clinging to a memory of what could have been, using each other to escape reality for a moment. Still, I couldn't shake the image of her walking away that night, head high despite everything. Maybe she found peace in letting go, or maybe she was still pretending like the rest of us. I learned that infidelity doesn't always start with betrayal. It starts with neglect, with silence, with feeling unseen. Love fades quietly before it ever breaks loudly. Months later, I saw her name pop up on social media. A new city, a new job, a faint smile in her picture. She looked free. I didn't like the post or send a message. I just sat there, grateful that she found the courage to rebuild. Sometimes pretending helps you see the truth. And sometimes the truth is that love, once broken, isn't meant to be repaired, only remembered.